Hey guys, this is Heretic and it's Thursday, December 23rd, 2021, and this is the basic attack strategy discussion video. In this discussion video, I will play sample attack gameplay videos and battle reports while Executioner and I discuss different types of attacks and the strategy involved. So let's get started.
Count up the loot, call up the troops. We coming through. We coming through.
Well, thanks for joining us, Exterminator. I wanted to get your kind of your help coming up with good war tips and strategy for everyone, and so I really appreciate your time here tonight. Tell me a little bit about your history with War and Order and other gaming, if you want.
Well, I'm sure like most of us, I've been playing games, uh, computer games and console games since I was a little kid, so gaming ain't new. I've been playing War and Order since March or April of last year, so it's coming up on 2 years now. I started in realm 1158, and this is my second realm.
Oh, cool. Did you play any other mobile games like this before coming to War and Order?
No, not on a cell phone. I kind of play games similar to this, mostly against a computer though, on the computer, uh, but not on a cell phone game.
Oh, cool. How
This
did you
would be
end
my
up in
first.
War and Order then?
Facebook advertisement. I was just scrolling through Facebook and it popped up. I'm like, what's this? I'm gonna check it out because I got tired of playing my other game, which was Kingdoms at War. It's nowhere near this extravagant, I guess you can call it. It's a lot more just click, 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 click game.
Right.
And I was getting tired of it, so I found this, and it was during the whole Corona layoff stuff, so it's like I was just sitting at home anyway. So I started playing.
Oh, that's cool. It's interesting to see how people end up in a certain game. So
Yeah.
tonight we're going to be talking about mostly attacking, right?
hmm
And so PvP attacking within War and Order, and I have, and maybe you have it different, but I have four different types of attacks. You have the solo non SOS attack, the solo SOS attack, the speed teamed attack, or which is the SA, and the time. And I'm sorry, I said teamed, but it's a timed attack. And then just the time attack, which is TA. And then, yeah, those are the four that I have. Can you think of any other that you want to talk about?
Well, you can also set a rally on somebody.
True.
Uh, so,
How often does that happen?
um, not as much as you would think. It happens a lot during the early part of the realm. Uh, as the realm gets older, it happens less and less because, well, you can still do it on farm alliances, but you don't want to do it on a main because as soon as you set the rally, they got 5 minutes to organize something, and they can end up bad real quick.
Right,
So,
and that to me is what sets War and Order apart from any of the other strategy games like this. Is you have this element where rallies aren't that important. So that 5 minute giveaway time, like you're talking about, in here we have these timed attacks that we can do, and if you all join the battle with before the battle's over, you can all participate in that same battle, which is what people would use rally for in other games. So I
hmm.
really like that strategy element here that we have. So okay, I guess let's start. Do you have any tips if you're um, not if you don't have SOS and you're gonna do a solo attack? What would you recommend there?
um, everybody's got their own little, I would say, comfort level of when they're gonna want to do a solo. Uh, you probably need to be at least twice, send twice as many troops, or at least 2 tiers, if not 3 tiers higher than whatever you're going to attack. And that's assuming that you don't get any rains. Um,
Yeah, so what you're saying is a non-SOS solo attack can go south really fast.
it can,
Yeah.
yeah, but you we still do it. Um, you get out there, you're going to need to send more of a front line than if you're doing something in a group. Uh, I try to send, if I'm doing a solo, I'll send at least 40% of a front line, just because whenever you go into, you're invading someone else's castle, you're on your own, so you have to keep their entire army off of you while your back line is doing all the killing. So you need to have a very strong front line for that to happen and be successful, because if you send, the closer you get to even of what you're attacking, the more losses you're going to have. So you need to be overwhelmingly stronger than what you're attacking to receive less amount of losses.
Right. And that's the big negative with your solo non-SOS and attacking in general is that you
Yeah,
take real losses where the defense takes wounded up into their hospital capacity.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't actually officially seen it anywhere, like on a War and Order Facebook page or something. But I think that defensive attacks are weighted in their favor. Like if you were to send the exact same army that they have, it wouldn't be like 50-50,
Mhm.
wounded and dead. It seems like whoever's on the defending side has a little advantage on top of they go to the hospital and the attacker just ends up dead. It seems like they still have an advantage on it, but I
I've
haven't
noticed
found
that
that in
too.
writing.
I've noticed
Okay,
the
good.
same
It's
thing.
not just me.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of the stats, specials, and everything else kind of geared towards the defensive as well.
Oh yeah, I'm set up that way right now, trying to get better rolls on enhancements and stuff. But I've got a lot of defensive stuff on too myself.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Okay, what about an SOS? What kind of tips can you give to the person, especially if they just got their SOS? You know, and I'll be getting mine soon. I'm still at
Um,
33, Lord, but when I get it, what kind of tips would you give me as far as what to do to attack? Like,
I think I got the best SOS advice from somebody in my last realm. He never used SOS to just go out and hit somebody. Uh, Whenever you got SOS, everybody's like, I'm king of the world. I'm gonna lay the smack down on somebody. Uh, you have to speed there, and when you get done with the attack, you got to heal all your troops. It's going to get very expensive very quick in terms of paying for gems and heals to keep doing this, on a daily basis or every other day or however often that you want to do it. This guy in my last realm, he's like, SOS he uses as a get out of jail free card when he ports over and he starts hitting farms. He goes and he'll start cleaning out the enemy's farms, and whenever he gets rained on, he hurries up and bam, hits that SOS, and he saves all of his troops from dying. Yeah, they go to the hospital, but it could have ended up a lot worse. And as soon as he uses that SOS, it's like, okay, they're awake, they caught me, used my SOS, I'm done. So he gets over there and steals as many resources as he can, but he doesn't lose any of his troops doing it. And when he said that, I was like, wow, that's probably what War and Order intended SOS to be for.
that's
After
really
he
smart.
said that, yeah. So you can do it to go ahead and the enemy alliance. I'm going to go ahead and hit this guy because he's way over hospital cap. I'm going to go do it. You can do that, but it's going to get costly and add up real quick the more often that you do it.
Right. And then there's a
So
couple different things, right? I mean, I know like in a war and they're hitting you every day and you need to, you know, kind of give them back some love. So that's
Oh
one
yeah,
thing.
definitely.
Yeah. But you don't want to, you get the SOS, or you're, much more powerful than someone else in another alliance, and you just start killing everybody. You're going to have a really crummy playtime in your realm when there's no one else to fight.
Yeah, uh, that'll happen too. It
Yeah.
seems like my last realm, there was a guy that was quite a bit bigger than he was the biggest guy in the realm for quite some time, and he played more on his alt than he did on his main because he said whenever he gets out his main, he's like, uh, people just start bubbling and it's no fun. He can actually
Hmm.
play the game more often on his alt than what he can on his main.
Right. It's
So
almost like picking on little kids at that point
yeah, yeah.
if you get too
And
far ahead.
there's people that will do it.
Hmm.
Uh, there's people that got a lot of really good tech.
Yeah, there's people in almost all of these games. I mean, it's hit or miss when you do join a realm. If you get into a realm with someone who's spending, way more than everybody else, and they have, they're many tiers ahead of the person below them, and there's no competition, and then they start going around just wiping everybody out, it's time to leave. It's not going to be a
Yeah,
fun play experience. You're always going to be on the defensive. It's just not going to be fun. There needs to be some
right.
kind of a balance there. That's why I always think, like, you don't, like, your enemy in a realm, and I know this is a little bit off topic, but your enemy in a realm, you almost have to treat as well as you would someone in your own alliance, in that if they leave, it's going to hurt your alliance because you always need the enemy.
Right. Or it just turns into Farmville.
Yep, exactly. And none of us want that, especially if you're making an investment in the game.
Right.
Okay, so that was SOS. And there's a few things on SOS. Never send more troops out than your hospital capacity, right? Because if you send, well, significantly more than your hospital capacity, because you do have a chance of losing, right? Especially if you're attacking someone with a few 100,000 more troops than you're actually sending out. And then if you,
Um,
Mhm.
I'll have to actually do some investigating. I'm like 98% sure. Well, maybe not quite that much, but I'm pretty sure when you do an SOS, even if you lose more than your hospital cap is bumped up
Mhm.
for how many you lost in your SOS. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure if you lose them in a SOS, they will not die, even if you lose more than your hospital cap.
Oh, that's interesting.
I need to verify that.
Okay, cool. All
But
right.
usually,
Mhm.
it's going to be pretty close. It'll be if you have a March size to where you're sending 180, you're usually going to have a hospital cap that's similar to your March size. Now, if you start doing all the expansion, like they got that advanced expansion that's 30%, you can start getting up to where you can send more than your hospital.
Right.
Uh, but they're going to be relatively about the same anyway.
Hmm. Yeah, I've noticed that as I've gone through, but I do put a lot into my hospital cap, and I know you do too. So we're
Yeah,
not ever
yeah,
caught in that where we're losing a lot of troops where we don't really need to. Big waste.
yeah. I started playing the game before they had the sanctuary, so your hospital cap was it. And if you
Hmm.
lost more than your hospital cap, you had to make more.
Right. You're
So
done. Yep. How about a speed teamed timed attack? So I don't know why I keep saying teamed. A speed timed attack where you have multiple people in your alliance attack a single target, but they speed all the way through. Do you have any like tips and tricks there?
they both definitely have a specific purpose for them. During like the last Crown War, when one of the other alliances has the crown and you're going to do a steal on it, it depends on how many people you have online. If you have, like it ever happened, 60 or 70 people online, you would just do a timed attack to where everybody leaves their castle at varying times, and they end up hitting the crown castle at the exact same time for your timed attack, the more people that you have on, you can get away with doing that. If you have less people, like 20 or 25, and you want to do it, you're going to have to do a speed attack, so that way the enemy has less time to come up with a plan to stop you. But a speed attack, everybody has to throw in gems or your speed boosts to get there, and not everybody is going to have extra gems or speeds to where, like if you have 60 people online and you say we're going to do a speed attack, you're going to have 20 of them or so. So like, oh, I don't have any gems or I don't have any speeds, and you're not going to have that option for that many people. So the more people you have online, the more you would want to go towards a timed attack. If unless you let everybody know a couple weeks ahead of time or whatever, start gathering your gems, because in a speed attack you're going to want to say you click on look at on the world map, or outside your castle, and you pick one of the chest timers, and you say, okay, this one here, like for mine example, is 21 hours 4 minutes and 57 seconds until tomorrow's reset. You'll say, okay, we're going to hit the castle at 21 hours and 4 minutes even, so there's 46 seconds until you need to be there. Don't leave the your castle until 15 seconds beforehand, but you need to be there at exactly 21:04 so that everybody arrives at the same time.
I really like that idea, and the first time you said it, I thought that was pretty brilliant. That you're not like on a normal timed attack. You'll say, you go with you'll say leave at a certain time, like the first one will leave, and then everyone else will kind of go off of that. Whereas on a speed attack, it's land at a certain time. So you just
I can go over the timed attack again. Here, but like for the speed attack, it's all about what time you're going to arrive at the destination, is because you're going to have castles that you're not all lined up in perfect order with whatever you're going to hit, so everybody's going to have a different time, just like they would on a time attack, on how long it's going to take to get there. However long is in a speed attack, however long it is irrelevant. You just say you need to be there at exactly this time. Use however many speeds you need to arrive here at this time, but do not leave before 15 seconds beforehand, so that way it takes the element, it adds the element of surprise to where the enemy doesn't know you're coming. And by the time they see the first line coming, it's like they're already there, so right. They don't have any time to do anything.
Yep. And that's the big advantage of a speed attack, is you get there before they can react. Yes. Whereas in a timed attack, they'll start seeing all the lines, and they could start reinforcing.
Yeah. When we just did that last crown grab on GNR, I think our march was like 10 minutes and some change, or at least mine was. So if you're doing a timed attack or a speed attack.
So we're going to go ahead and stop here and pick up the second part of the basic battle strategy discussion in the next video. And in that video, we'll specifically go over timed attacks and the formation of your troops, your troop formation in those attacks. So look forward to the next video that'll come out shortly. Thank you.